Hello, hello. Welcome back if you are a returning subscriber, and welcome if you are new. My name is Megan Yelaney. I'm an online business coach. I help online coaches stand out on social media, become the go-to choice in their industry and leaders in their industry by marketing what makes them unique, their unique coaching method. I'm so happy you're here. Today's video is going to be chock full, really fun, and it's going to be a continuation of the last YouTube video I released last week. So I'll make sure to link that down below because I recommend watching that first if you haven't watched it yet. This is going to be a 3-part series. Next week will be the 3rd part. And this is a recap of a workshop that I did inside my Facebook group called Your Personality Authority Blueprint. And this workshop was so incredible, and it really teaches you how to combine your personality and still show yourself as an authority on social media, how to do those two things at once and show your personality but still be taken seriously, right? So you actually enjoy your business. It is truly a reflection of who you are, and you don't feel like you have to put like this face on when you go on social media, right? I've built my whole business being completely myself, and I want to help you do the same, but there's a way to do it. You still got to show you're an authority. You still got to show that you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing. So that's going to be what we talk about today, is all about the authority piece. So come in for the training and we'll see you on the next slide. Right, so we are focusing on sharing your authority on social media. So reminder of my definition of authority, I shared this in the last video, so I just want to give you a refresher if you didn't get to watch that. Highly recommend, again, going back and watching it. It's in the description below. But exemplifying that you know what you're talking about through your content, conversations, and clients' results or testimonials. This is my definition. The professional definition was a little different, but that's essentially what showing your authority on social media is. Hey, I'm legit. I actually know what I'm talking about. I actually do what I say I'm going to do. And there's few ways you can do that: through your content, through your conversations with people, and by sharing your client results and testimonials, which is still content, but a very specific way. So we're going to talk about all 3 today. So first is your content. Your teaching and educational content will really be key here. Even if your unique approach to coaching isn't strategic, if you have not taken the Unique Coach Approach quiz, make sure you go to meganyelaney.com/quiz. We'll have it up here on the screen to take that quiz. It'll make more sense of what I'm talking about right now. So even if your unique coach approach isn't strategic, it's still important to show your audience that you can guide them through a transformation. Your version of teaching, if you don't have a strategic coach approach, will look a little different. And that's great, but it is still important for someone to leave your content, whether it's a live video, a post, an email, etc., having learned something and experienced a quick win. So examples of quick wins: knowledge, clarity, understanding of what to do next. It doesn't have to be, I signed a client, I lost 5 pounds, right? I think we think that we have to give our client, our audience in our free content huge leaps and bounds. It should be something that they're like, wow, I would have paid for that information. I would have paid to know that. I would have paid to understand that. I would have paid for that knowledge. Your free content should be really good that you could actually charge for it. Okay, so let's take a second for you to brainstorm some of this content. Step 1, write down the main problems your audience and clients say they have. Step 2, write down what questions you get asked the most from your audience or you see other people asking most in relation to your coaching, in Facebook groups, under other coaches who do something similar to you. Step 3, write down what you love to talk about most. If you could have free reign to talk about anything all day, every day in relation to your coaching and clients, what would that be? Now, take all 3 of those lists into consideration and pick one to focus on. Which one spans all 3 of those steps? That's what you're going to start with, and write an educational type post or do a live or a reel based specifically on this. Okay, next with sharing your authority is writing the posts and planning the live or creating the reel. So first, here's some steps for you. First, you want to define the problem. What's the main thing you're going to help them learn about and overcome in this post, this live, or this reel? Next, what's the first step they need to take? So you talk about what's the problem you're going to solve. What's the first step they need to take? Simple and to the point. What's the second? Simple and to the point. What's the third? I don't recommend having more than 5 because it can get very overwhelming unless they're super short and to the point. And then bring it all together. Reiterate how taking these steps will help them get closer to their goal and help them overcome their problem from step 1. Next steps is number 6. What can they do next to build upon this, implement this more, or move to the next level in their transformation? This is where you're going to put your call to action to work with you, DM you, or join your email list through a specific opt-in, apply for a program, stay tuned for a free training, join your Facebook group, etc., right? You need to have a call to action that's really specific. Whether it's, again, for a paid offer or it's just, hey, join my email list. Hey, do this. Don't say join my email list. Say like, click the link in my bio or DM me for my free guide or my step-by-step blah, 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 or my free training, whatever it is. I personally would not opt into email lists if someone's just like my email list in general. Very few people will because they think spam. They think I'm going to get inundated with emails. I already have too many emails. So you want it to be something specific that they can actually opt into. Now, how is this actually showing your authority? You are showing your authority, you are showing your audience that you actually hear them, right? By speaking to a problem that they say they have. That builds massive, massive trust. And you are showing you know how to overcome this problem by laying out the steps for them. That builds trust and authority. And then 3, you're showing them you have a next step for them, whether free or paid, to continue progressing further. That builds trust and authority and continues the relationship. This was something that I talked about in my free challenge. You can actually go to meganyelaney.com/challenge recap, where we have all of the videos that I did for my challenge if you want to follow along for a really good challenge. So that's there for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to pause this so I can bring up these posts and show you how this is really showing my authority. 4 tips to write an entertaining metaphor post that gets attention from your audience.
First, brain dump all the things your ideal client is talking about. What's in pop culture? What's a hot topic? Second, pick one thing on that list to compare your industry to. Third, write an attention-grabbing opening first line of your caption from this metaphor. Fourth, fill the middle of the post with the links between your industry and what you're comparing it to as descriptively and entertainingly as possible.
And this was actually a call to action to go watch one of my videos, right? So in the actual... Can I pause this? There we go. In the actual post, I say 4 tips to write an entertaining metaphor post that gets attention from your audience. Why do I feel metaphors are so valuable when used in content? So this is really cool. And actually, I technically should save this for the next video, but I'm just going to share it here. So this is a really great representation of my coach approach and personality and my authority, right? I am teaching something very specific that has helped my clients and me attract a lot of clients, right? It's really worked well in our content. I have a whole YouTube video on metaphors. We will make that in the description. Lots of stuff in the description today. But I want people to understand why, because mindset is a huge coach approach for me. That's my main coach approach to my business coaching, is a mindset approach. I want people to understand why they're doing what they're doing, and I want them to choose to do it. I don't want anyone to just randomly do things because someone says to. It's like, what's the purpose of this? You should understand what the purpose is, right? So I break down, like, in the actual reel, I'm giving you the steps. In the caption, I'm giving you the reason. So I say human connection. When we connect with our audience as humans and not just how we can help them, it gives our audience the chance to feel close to us and trust us on another level. 2, a new perspective for your audience to understand and grasp a concept. Sometimes using a metaphor helps your audience get it. A concept they once found confusing can click for the first time when told from this perspective that they already connect with. 3, opportunity for them to keep reading when you capture their attention with something different. Their feed is probably filled with a ton of similar messages told in the usual way. By you telling it in a different way, you can capture their attention, inform, and entertain them at the same time. This helps you stay top of mind. Watch my latest YouTube video linked in my bio to get 2 more specific metaphor post examples that took off for me and helped me sign soulmate clients. And just for time's sake, I'm going to link this in the description, but this can, again, show you my authority. But this is a really beautiful example of showing my authority and personality at the same time. So I'll make sure I link that post in the description below. So let's talk about how to show your authority in your conversations that you're having. Another great way is to show your authority is with the conversations you're having in your DMs or on your stories with your audience. So first, if you're on your stories, right, doing polls is a really, really great way. One way I love to spark conversations in my audience is through polls on IG stories or a poll within my Facebook group. You can even do this by emailing your audience a very simple question to reply to. This is key. It has to be easy for them to answer. If they have to read the question over and over to understand what you're asking, they're not going to answer, right? Keep it simple schnookums. I like that better. I don't like keep it simple stupid. So first step, what are some simple questions you can ask your audience that relates to how you coach them? A way to throw in your personality while doing this is to throw in a poll in the middle of these more coaching-focused, problem-solving ones with something fun that relates to your personality. For example, I would ask, what kind of wine do you prefer, white or red? Which Harry Potter character do you love more, Harry or Ron? Who's the best dressed in Schitt's Creek, Moira or Alexis, right? Again, throwing that in really helps break it up for people. First step, what are some simple questions, I already said that. Throwing these in are 1, fun for them to answer, and 2, you can totally start a conversation from these polls, just as much, if not more, than from the coaching problem or solving polls. From the coaching or problem solving polls. Again, I have started so many conversations with now high-level clients that I've worked with for quite a while from just normal things that I share, like, hey, which kind of wine do you like? What's your favorite Harry Potter character? What house are you in? Like, everyday things. They understand I'm an authority. This whole point of this is showing how you're an authority, teaching people how to do things, showing that you have the credibility, you show your client results, all of that kind of stuff, and giving them a lot of quick wins. But that's just the piece of the puzzle. For someone to really invest in you at a high level over and over again, they've got to connect with you on a human level. And that has been literally how I built my whole business. So I want you to really infuse this into your content. So second step, after someone votes on your poll, start having a conversation with them about their answer and get ready to give them some type of resource if they're open to it. Don't ever just send someone a link or resource without asking if they'd want it first, and don't ask if they want it until you've had a conversation with them. Be a human first and always. Another great way to share your authority is through mini trainings, right? One way I love to spark conversations with my audience is through polls on IG stories or a poll within my Facebook group. Like I said, you can even do this by emailing your audience a very simple question. I mentioned that before, but I also want to talk about mini trainings. Keep your mini trainings simple, short, less is more. Try not to go on too many tangents and keep your story slides to a minimum purely because us humans have a short attention span. So mini trainings, you get on your Instagram story and you just share a training. You walk people through step by step. The process I took you through before, the 6-step process, do that, but on your stories. But again, make it simple. Keep it interactive and interesting. Throw in polls, question box features, and GIFs. Rotate between your face on camera and pictures, or not your face, right, to keep it interactive. Just like in the poll section, start conversations with people who are interacting with your poll question box feature, and just have a normal conversation like you would in person. Be curious. Don't jump into inviting them to a sales call. Just be a human. The sales conversation will start to happen more naturally as you go. And if you're teaching something specific on your story, invite them to DM you with any further questions they have or what they came up with at the end of this training so you can help them work through it further. My example, when I released my Coach Approach quiz at the beginning of March, I encouraged people to take the quiz and share their results on Instagram story, tagging me. I would repost it and DM them, walking them through their Coach Approach results and giving them tips on how to apply this more. If you took the quiz, meganyelaney.com/quiz, and I didn't get to reshare your post, please DM me on Instagram. I want to make sure that I give you the same feedback I gave others. So if you're just watching this for the first time, if you're new to this channel, if you haven't heard me talk about this, do the same. I will reshare it on my story and give you some feedback. And then the last way to show your authority, and it's not the last way, there's many, many ways, but for brevity's sake, is through client testimonials and results, right? You can do this through live interviews with clients, videos, written testimonials, screenshots. This is an obvious way to show authority, but one that a lot of people overlook, myself included. I have to get better about sharing these consistently. Rule of thumb for me, I never show the client's name or face unless we discussed it and they want to be shouted out or they've submitted a video testimonial. Otherwise, I always cover up their name or face and anything in the message that would allude to them being the testimonial, right? Program name, etc. You can obviously share the specific results, money made, client signed, weight loss, confidence gain, relationship form, whatever your coaching is. But also focus on the screenshots or testimonials that share how they felt during the coaching or how they felt reaching that goal. This shows how they felt cared for during the coaching, which is huge and shows your unique coach approach a little bit more for your audience. And this is an example of client results testimonials I did for my group program. I had 4 different interviews with different clients who were beautiful examples of why this program works, right? And so I named the actual interviews the objection that a lot of people have. So that's a little tip, is whatever objection you're getting, interview someone who had a similar objection or is a beautiful example of overcoming that objection. So one of them is, why this investment is the one that took her to 6 figures in 10 months, why she joined even though she knew all the stuff. That was a big thing that people said, well, I know all these things, right? What if I've already done something like this before? How is this different? This person had already done something similar, but they still got so much out of this, and it still really changed the course of their business. How is this showing your authority? Your client testimonials, screenshots, interviews are literally showing that your coaching has helped someone in the way your audience wants to be helped. Massive authority. If you're also showing how they felt during the coaching experience, you're also building massive trust, which majorly increases authority. A lot of people can get results, but how did they feel getting those results? Did they enjoy the process? Did they feel supported? Would they want to do it again? Were they stressed? Were they enjoying it? You can check out this entire training in my Facebook group. I actually have the whole thing there. I'll make sure to link it down below, the link to the Facebook group, as well as the workbook that I made along with it. If you want to watch the whole thing straight through, if you're like, okay, I need more of this, I want the entire thing, it's all there for you. When you're in the Facebook group, you just go to the top where it says guides and you click free workshops and you'll see your personality authority blueprint under there. Again, we'll link all of that in the description for you. Thanks for coming along. I hope you start making some content that really shows your authority and your personality. Next week, we are gonna have a video that's the third part of this, the last part, which is how to combine those two. How do you take your personality and your authority and combine them all together? So I'm really excited for that one. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.